Hello, ladies. Happy Sunday. Courtney here, and I'm the admin of this group. And today I wanted to share with you a couple of my favorite meal prep recipes. I know a lot of you guys get hung up on the food part of any kind of weight loss program. So here is one thing that I do that has really been helpful with my success with keeping the weight off is planning all my meals and actually cooking some of them ahead of time. So I'm going to share with you a breakfast recipe, a lunch recipe, and also a dinner recipe that you can make a huge batch of. That way you can eat on that for the week. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off with one of my favorites is egg muffins. These are great because they're filled with protein and they're easily adjustable. So you can put meat in them, you can make them vegetarian, you can also vary up your vegetables, your seasonings, things like that. So that's what we got going on right now. So come on over here. I went ahead and got all the stuff prepped. So here is one thing that really helps whenever you're doing meal prep. Make sure you have everything chopped up ahead of time. That way when you start to cook, you're not scrambling around trying to chop things at the last minute. So I actually went ahead and set up, so kind of zoom in here, Jacob, if you can. So I have 12 of these muffin tins. These are great. They're silicone, so they're non-stick, and they're really easy, so that way they don't stick whenever you bake the muffins. But I have some chopped zucchini and some sliced grape tomatoes, and then I also have some ham. And I left a few just ham for the kids because they're a little picky, so no green stuff in there. So like I said, easily adjustable. So I have 8 eggs in here for 1 dozen muffins. And then I put just a couple splashes of milk in there. But of course you can eliminate that or add water instead. So I'm just going to use a whisk here, and I'm just whisking away here, making sure that everything is fully blended. All right, almost there. And then once I do this, I'm going to add a little black pepper. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. All right, so we got some black pepper in here. Don't be shy with the black pepper. All right. So I went ahead and put all my goodies into the muffin tins. Mix up this pepper a little bit more, and then I just use a big ladle. And then I'm going to start to fill them. So about 3/4 of the way full is about perfect. So these are really nice because you can keep them in the fridge for several days. Or you could also freeze them. They actually freeze pretty darn good. And then in the morning, you can just stick them in the oven for a few minutes. Or you could also put them in the microwave for about 50 seconds. Really good. And they're even good cold, so. All right, almost done. Kind of go a little on the short side, and then if I have extra, I can just go back and fill the ones that aren't as full. So I have my oven preheated to 400, so you want to make sure that you do that while you're getting this all together. Let's see here. Let's put it here. And a little bit more over here. All right, so that's pretty good. So 8 eggs is about perfect. I put about 2 splashes of whole milk in there. And then I'm going to top off with some cheese. If you're lactose intolerant, of course you can, or dairy free, you can always eliminate the cheese. But I personally love the cheese. So I like mozzarella on mine. Me and Jacob like the mozzarella. Or this one's the Italian blend. So it's got some mozzarella, some provolone. Just like a little pinch on top of each muffin is perfect. I think I'm gonna do, the kids like, my stepkids really like the Fiesta blend cheese. So I left all the green stuff out of their muffins. And then I'm gonna put, this one is Mexican style cheddar Monterey Jack. Yeah, this one's a really good one. So like I said, you can totally adjust this to your taste. A little extra cheese. They like lots of cheese. All right. So that is it. So I just have my vegetables and my meats of my choice. I did some ham, zucchini, cherry tomato, ham and cheese for the kids, and then I topped off with cheese. Then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and stick them in the oven. They take about 22 minutes. 20 to 22. But I know with my oven, it's usually about 22. So we'll go ahead and do that. Because I try to do a couple things at once, because it does save time. As long as, like I said, you're ready to go, usually it's not a big deal. All right, I got this heating up. I'm gonna heat this up just a tad more. We're gonna head over here, and I'm already got the turkey browned. Jacob, if you can zoom in here. So basically what I have here is 1 pound of lean ground turkey, and then we season that up with some chili powder, some garlic powder, black pepper, and some cumin. And then I also have 2 cans of pinto beans. So this is one of my favorite chili recipes. Before I went live, I actually cut up, this is 3 small sweet potatoes. I actually peeled them and then I diced them. You do want them pretty small because they will take forever if you don't chop them up enough. I also have some diced onion in here, some yellow onion. I did that ahead of time. And that's about 1 small yellow onion. So I have 1 pound ground turkey seasoned, and then I have 2 cans of pinto beans, about 1 small onion chopped, and then about 3 small sweet potatoes, or you can use 1 or 2 large. And then, before I do that, let's go ahead and, I'm gonna add a little bit more seasoning here. So I got some more chili powder, and then some cumin. I always smell it because one time I used cinnamon instead. Not quite the taste I was going for, so. And then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. Let me let me just use this knife. Plenty of garlic. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna go ahead and add 1 chopped jalapeno. I went ahead and took out the seeds. Okay, whoop. I'm gonna have to turn this down a little bit. It got a little hot. Let's go ahead and leave that for a second. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and wash my hands. Once I handle jalapeno, it's a good idea to wash your hands. Give me just a second. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stir all this up. So I added a little bit more seasoning. I could even add a little black pepper. That couldn't hurt at all. So I just season it with some fresh minced garlic, and then a little more chili powder and some cumin. So it's kind of like a sweet, spicy chili with the sweet potato. And then I'm gonna finish this off with 1 can of, it's a big can of crushed tomatoes, or you can use 2 small cans. This is about perfect. So I'm gonna give this a stir. I do add a little bit of water. Now here's the thing you wanna remember when you're using a slow cooker. You're gonna have some condensation from the slow cooker, right? So you wanna make sure if you are adding liquid, don't add as much as you think you should, because you're gonna have some naturally occurring liquid once the cooking process starts. So I'm gonna just use this can and yeah. Oh yeah. I'll start off with that. So I had just a little water just because, and you know, you can adjust the water to your texture taste. But again, you're still gonna get some of that naturally occurring liquid. So just be mindful of that. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I think that'll be perfect. So with the slow cooker, you wanna make sure that it's not too full. You want it full enough, so they usually say, I think about 3/4 full is perfect. Mix this all in. So I do this first thing in the morning. Well, it's a little late. We slept in today, but this takes about 8 hours. I always start off on high just because this slow cooker is a little old and it takes a while. So I start off on high, and then once it starts heating up, usually about 2-3 hours in, I'll go ahead and switch it to low for the rest of the cooking. But about 8 hours, and I start off on high and then switch it to low. So come on over here. So we got that going. Did I turn that on? Make sure I did that. Okay. And it is almost 11 o'clock, so I'll check in with that here in just a moment. in a few hours. So here's what we got over here. The last thing we're gonna make is Fiesta beans and rice. I love this for lunch, but you could also do this for dinner. So I have this pan heating up right now. I'm gonna add a splash, just like maybe a tablespoon or so of some extra virgin olive oil, or you could use some canola oil. Give that a nice little swirl in the pan. And again, I have everything chopped and ready to go, so that way it's nice and easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, I have some chopped bell pepper and onion. And then I got some onion for, I'm gonna make some spaghetti sauce. Once we're done here, got one more thing to do. All right. So I always start off with the bell pepper and onion. There we go. Then I'm just gonna give that a nice little stir. I'm gonna saute this and get this nice and happy. I'm gonna add some of this garlic. I like lots of garlic, but you know, you can do whatever. All right. So I'm gonna give that a stir, and then I'm also gonna add some black pepper. You don't have to cook the crud out of this, but I like to just kind of get it to where the garlic starts to become fragrant. The onion and the bell pepper start to soften a little bit. Whoop, got a jumper. So here's what I got here. I got some brown rice. Already have that portioned out. So I'm gonna need 2 cups of water and 1 cup of brown rice. I got the quick cook organic. This stuff takes about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. So I'm gonna let this get a little more happy here, about another minute or so. And I love this because I end up adding some of this rotel or diced tomatoes with green chili, so it has a little spice to it. And then I actually add some black beans at the very end. And if you're vegetarian, you can keep it to that. I like to add some chicken breast. So I actually cooked up some chicken breast yesterday that I could easily add. So once it starts to get nice and happy here, starting to get a little fragrance from the onion and the garlic, I'm gonna go ahead and add the water. So I actually need 2 of these. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up because we wanna bring it to a boil. You can stay right there. Yep. So I'm just gonna let that come up to a boil. And then once this boils, I'm gonna add my diced tomatoes with green chilies and then my rice. And then basically all you do is simmer it. So it's pretty easy actually. And then I usually add the black beans and also the chicken at the very end. So lots of fun stuff here. So yeah, this is basically what I do on Sunday. You know, some days it's more intensive than others. Sometimes I just chop up vegetables the night before. Another great way that you can do some meal prep is portion out some snacks. You know, grab some pistachios, put that into little containers. That way it's already portioned and ready to go. I like to do things like edamame, which is those green soybeans. Those are really good. I get those in the freezer section, and then I'll put them in a plastic bag the night before. Set them in the fridge so they can thaw out, and I have a nice protein-filled snack for the rest of the next day. So lots of ways that you guys can do meal prep. So we're waiting on this to boil here. We are live, and if you guys have any questions, make sure that you pop those into the comments. I have someone actually taking this video today, so I can't see your comments right now, but I will go in afterwards and check out any questions that you might have. I love to do this because I really feel that making those decisions ahead of time is really going to make a big difference on what we're eating throughout the week. Because I know for me, if I don't know what I'm eating ahead of time, I'm just going to reach for the first thing I can grab. And sometimes it's not always the best choice, so something to keep in mind. And even if you guys don't cook everything in advance, you know, even just planning out your meals, like, okay, hey, I can look through my fridge. This is what I have as far as produce, you know, what can I do with this? And you guys can even look up recipes with what you have on hand. So even just planning things out ahead of time is really going to make a big difference. So I'm just going to peek in on my muffins here. Okay, they're still cooking away here. Got about 12 more minutes. All right, we're starting to finally get a little boil here. And then while I do this, did we ever clean that pan, Jacob? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get this going. I'm not gonna show this today, but I'm gonna make some spaghetti sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heated up. So yeah, I like to kind of, multitask here. I definitely wouldn't do too much at once, but if you have things already chopped and ready to go, it's really just a matter of throwing it all together. So I added 1 cup of brown rice. So remember, I had the bell pepper and onion in here, and garlic. Bring that to a boil. Okay, maybe not so fast here. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 can. This is just the diced tomatoes with green chili. So that's going to give it a nice little spice. And then all I'm going to do is let it come back to a boil. Adding all that stuff, of course, brought the heat back down. But once this is up to a nice boil, I'm just going to simmer it for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then at the very end, I already have some black beans here, just 1 can of black beans that I rinsed and drained. I'm going to go ahead and add this at the very end once the rice is done. I would definitely keep an eye on rice because rice does not taste very good when you overcook it, and it's actually really easy to overcook. So I start off with 15 minutes, just like the package says. I always start with the lower number, and then that way, make sure that we're not overcooking so it gets mushy. So once this comes back up to a boil, we'll go ahead and let that simmer and get the timer going. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, and this is going to make about 4 to 5 servings, just depending on how big your portions are. The chili, you can get about 4 to 6 servings out of it. So a lot of times, so we'll probably do this tonight, and then if there's any leftover, I'll do that for lunch. All right, so we're getting a nice little simmer here. So once it starts boiling again, oh, look at that beautiful color. I got the chopped yellow pepper and the yellow onion and some green pepper, and then I have that rotel. So I'm going to put a lid on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for 15 minutes. I'm going to check on that. Once that water is absorbed, that's really when it's done, and you just want to make sure that rice isn't too crunchy. And the great thing about this, you guys can add things like guacamole, sliced avocado, lime juice, a little squeeze of lime. You could also do some chopped cilantro. So you can really make this your own. And then when I'm done, I'm going to add those black beans, and I'll probably put a little bit of that grilled chicken breast that I made yesterday. So guys, that's it for today. Feel free, if you have any questions, to pop those into our comments. One thing I'm going to put in the link below once we are done here, I have a free Make Over Your Metabolism 7-day meal plan. It has the muffins recipe. It also has 7 other great recipes, and I believe we have the Fiesta beans and rice. So you'll get 6 more recipes, and not only that, it's a 7-day meal plan that makes it so easy. And the great thing, a lot of those recipes in the Make Over Your Metabolism meal plan are things that you can make ahead of time. So that way you're not scrambling around trying to have to figure out what's for lunch every single day. You guys already know what you're going to have with this meal plan. So I'll put those into the comments below. All you got to do is click on the link once I put that into the comments, and you'll be able to download that free guide. I'm only going to have that guide for another couple days because I actually have a new free resource that is coming up really, really soon. All right, ladies, hope you have a great Sunday. Thanks for joining us today, and let us know if you have any questions. I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.